So for much of history, we thought that poverty is not an accidental byproduct of other things. It's actually created by design.
Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody needs to be validated. And that in and of itself heals. And we begin there. And everything comes after that. You build a foundation in trust and hope, and everything else will follow.
You pour more money into it, it doesn't go away. What you have to do is take it down on this real micro level. So let's just take one homeless person. Let's just say with one homeless person that we pour a ton of resources into that one person. Will their problems be fixed? Not necessarily. Depends on the problem.
So in some ways, the city becomes the worst possible environment for someone suffering with this illness. They are bombarded by strangers. They have a tremendous need to be both flexible and conforming through hundreds of interactions in just the course of one day.
That's why people with schizophrenia do better in third world countries than they do in America, because they aren't excluded and intolerant.
The growth rate of the population is slowing down, but it's growing off a huge base. 1% or 1.2 billion, 12 to 15 million, that is in one New York City every year, being added year after year.
Just when we are poised to become the youngest country as in country with maximum number of young people in the world, we definitely need our young adolescents. We definitely need to invest money, resources, everything in this young population, because they're going to be the tomorrow of India and the world.
There are politically powerful actors who make decisions largely understanding, largely aware that this is going to create benefits for their group, for their supporters, for their cronies, and at the expense of others. And that's really at the root of the problem of inequality in the world.
The idea that the homeless population gets dehumanized is a very real one. You just shut your eyes to it. You turn it off, you walk past the guy, you skip over him, you ignore people, you avoid the smell, the glances, everything, the bother, and pretty soon it's a hassle. And the homeless community gets dehumanized. You hear it every day when people use the homeless as a noun. Let's go feed the homeless. Yeah. Look at the homeless.
We're people.
Yes.
I ask every day, I question in my head, why? Why are there so many black folks living in Skid Row? Why? As Pastor Q said the other day, it's just another reservation that we've been exiled to.
I'm thinking of that situation where this young man was 18, and all we could think about was, where were we, all of us, the system, everything, when he was 12?
It is the birthright of a child to have a family, right? It's the legal and moral obligation of the systems that surround them to find them a family. And miserable failures 20,000 times year over year on the system's part that we didn't find them a family.
That's somebody's mom, or that's somebody's grandma, or that was somebody's daughter. That's a human being who something happened in their lives that was often beyond their control, and they're not starting from the same place that we're starting from.
If we don't engage the community, I think we won't be able to find a solution.
I challenged the mayor's office a few months ago, maybe got in a little bit of trouble, when they made this audacious claim that they were going to end chronic homelessness by the end of 2016. What are you actually saying? What are you going to end? With who? And how are you going to do that? And where are these 60,000 units of housing going to be?
Wade Trimmer was referring to the claim made by Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti when he took office in 2013. His sales pitch was simple. In 1906, the San Francisco earthquake, which left over 200,000 people homeless, was addressed with an urgent need to rebuild the city and rapidly construct temporary housing for the victims of California's greatest natural disaster. They did it in a matter of years. Why can't we do the same thing for Los Angeles now? This is the wealthiest country in the world, Why can't we fix this? That's a question of our times that has so many frustrated and confused. Why does the richest country in the world have such a high homeless population in its largest cities? It's a lot more complicated than people want it to be. But before we address that issue, let's try and get an idea of the wealth, size, and struggles of nations in general, and look at one of those complicated systems on the planet: India.